So this is lesson 107 in Algebra 1. Line parallel to a given line and the equation of a line with a given slope. Alright, so all along here we've been talking about a formula that is y equals mx plus b. This is called the slope-intercept form of the equation, because in order to do this you have to have the slope and you have to have the y-intercept. So slope-intercept form. And what we do is we try to get every equation that we have in that form so that we can very quickly and easily graph the line that it makes. Alright, so one of the things about lines is you've got a couple options. They are going to never cross at all and be called parallel. They're going to cross at one place like that, and they will have one point in common with each other, and that's pretty much it, except for the fact that one line can lie on top of the other line, and then they have all the points in common. So those are your three options for what two lines can do. And we're going to look in particular at two parallel lines today. And one of the things about two parallel lines is they all have the same slope. If we have a line here, and it's parallel to that one, which is parallel to that one, and it's parallel to that one, they all go downhill exactly the same steepness. So their slope is the same, which makes it real nice. Because if I give you an equation like y equals 3x plus 12, and I give you another one and a third one, what do you know? You know that each one of these lines crosses the y line at those 3 points, and the slopes are all 3. That means that they're parallel to each other because they all have the same slope. Alright, so given that bit of information, let's go ahead and do some of these examples. So let's do example number 107.1. It says find the equation of a line that goes through point -1, -3 and is parallel, I'll use that for a parallel symbol, to 4x plus 3y equals 7. Okay, the key thing is y equals mx plus b. Before we can do anything, all the equations that we deal with are going to have to be in that form. So they give us this equation right there, and they're saying, okay, give me another line that's parallel to this, has the same slope, and it cuts through this line. So let's draw a picture here of exactly what we're looking for here. Alright, so we have this line, and I'm just making this up. Let's say that the line is like right there. Okay, if we were to draw a picture of that line, that's what it looks like. There's another line that they want to know the equation of that has the same slope, so it's going to be, something like this, somewhere along here, but it's going to go through -1, -3. So there's -1, -3. So this is the line that we're concerned about, and what we're going to do is we're asked to write an equation of that line. Okay, so that's what we're being asked to do in this. So there's two lines, one that they give us that I have circled there, and another one that we're supposed to come up with. Alright, so first of all, before we do anything else, we need to put this equation, 4x plus 3y equals 7, in slope-intercept form. So let's do that first. 4x plus 3y equals 7. Now we have to get the y by itself, so we have 3y equals -4x plus 7. We move the -4x over, then we divide by 3, and we get y equals -4x plus 7 over 3. Now we have to split that up. We'll split that up and that up. So y equals -4 thirds x plus 7/3. Alright, that is that put in slope-intercept form. Okay, so looking at what we have right here, what do we know? We know the slope is -4/3. Well, the question says find an equation that is parallel to this equation. Well, if it's parallel, it's going to have the same slope. So what kind of information do I have? I have, of this new equation that we're looking for, that much of it. I don't know what b is, though. I don't know where it crosses the y-axis, so that's my next step. So what I do is I take this information here, and I put this -1 in for the x, -3 in for the y, and I solve it. So I'm going to put -3 in for y, -1 in for x. Okay? So -3 equals 4 times 1. -4 times -1 is +4. Subtract 4/3 from both sides. And that gives me my b. Okay, so if I'm going to keep going with this, I'm going to have to change this to have a common denominator. So it's going to be -9/3, because that's equal to -3. And -9 minus 4 is -13. Okay? So that's my b. Alright, so what do I have now? I had this much, and I looked for b by taking these points and putting them in for the y and the x here, the y and the x, finding my b, and so that goes there. So what do I get for an answer? Okay, let's see if I can find some room over here on the left in red. I have y equals, what's my slope? -4/3 x, and what did I say my b is? 13/3. That is the equation that is parallel to this one, because it has the same slope and it goes through this line here. Alright, so this is what we are looking for. So if you're given the slope and you're given a point, like we did in the last example, you won't have any problem doing the homework if you do them exactly like I just did. So if you look at the practice problems, A and B, do them just like I just did this one, and you will be just fine. Alright, let's look at the equation of a line with a given slope. Okay, not really a whole lot different. The only thing that's different here is that it's easier. So, 107.2 says find the equation of a line that passes through the point 3, 4 and has a slope of -3/4. Okay, so again, we have to write this in the format y equals mx plus b. Okay, what do we know? We know the slope is 3/4, -3/4. And what else do we know? We know these 2 points, so we're going to put 4 in for y and 3 in for x. Okay, and we're going to solve for b. And we're going to add 9/4 to both sides because it's a negative and we want it to go away, so we have to add the opposite. Okay, so what do we have now? Let's do this up at the top. I have 4 plus 9/4 equals b. So let's make that a common denominator. In order to make that a common denominator, I have to have a 4 on the bottom. That means that's a 16. 16/4 is 4. So that gives me 25/4 equals b. Alright, so the key thing to do these is I need to know what my m is and my b is. Once I find those two, I'm done. Well, they gave me my m in the very beginning. They said that it was -3/4. So y equals m plus my b that I just found. And I'm done. Okay? So that's pretty much it for this lesson. Let's go ahead and see if we can sneak in a couple more examples, or at least one, before I run out of time. Alright, so find the equation that passes through the point -5, 11, and has a slope of 1/7. So I already have my m. Now I just need to find my b, right? Alright, so I take my y equals mx plus b, and I'm going to plug what I know in. There's my y, there's my slope, there's my x, and I'm looking for my b. So 11 equals -5/7 plus b. I'm going to add 5/7 to both sides. Oops. And I'm going to make a common denominator. Whoops, not 70. Yeah, 77 over 7 plus 5/7 equals b. So b then equals 82 over 7. Okay, so if I'm going to put them back into this equation, I've got y equals my slope and my b. And I'm done. Alright, one more. Alright, 107.4. Find the equation of a line that passes through the point -50, 40, okay, I don't care what point that is, and has a slope of -1/2. Exactly the same way. I would suggest you writing your slope-intercept formula and then fill in the blanks. Don't forget to put your second number as your y, and your slope is 1/2 and your x is -50 plus b. Okay, now we've got 40 equals 1/2 times 50 is 25. Subtract 25 from both sides, and there's my b. So I have my b and I have my m. So y equals m plus b, and you're done. Okay, that's all there is to it, to that lesson. Not a whole lot, so hopefully it won't give you any trouble.